Okay, so I'm getting some really bad energy that's been like circulating and it's like negative. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting downloads of like, unfortunately, like people that are married and their feelings towards their spouses, like individuals that came into my work today. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm legit like making contact spiritually with feelings, emotions, projections that I am now like, I don't know. I am totally getting all this and I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so something in the next 8 months. No, something has gone on in the last 8 months. So this has been something that had been taking place 8 months ago. That's still taking place. Let me go ahead and give a good shuffle. Father God, in the mighty name of Jesus, please show me what it is you'd like for me to see regarding this read. Um, So there was a protest that was going on regarding President Trump, as well as, the union, everybody putting their opinions on things. Essentially, individuals in society that are getting really bent over and hurt regarding their emotions, because they're leaning into everybody else's understandings and leaning into everybody else's business, when in all reality they're upset because, well, their businesses are being exposed because people are starting to take their positions correct. And so they're saying no more kings. No, in all reality, I mean, their expressions are valid, they're able to protest, but what about all these individuals that are like, no more sex trafficking and no more stealing children and having cameras all over the place that we've already bought and paid for society, in which you never check to find out where that person went? Why are you allowing these people to stay missing? What about all these Spanish people that came over from Mexico illegally and now they're like missing? These children are missing from Division of Family Services. Why have you not checked those cameras to find these people? Out of all the things to actually make a stand on, when somebody starts trying to find out where our money's been used and finding out that it's been funding trafficking all over the world, that it's been funding drug trafficking all over the world, that it's been funding all these prostitutions all over the world, why are we not focusing on that and actually wanting for someone to find these things that have been sacrificing our hard-earned money, than to be calling judgment on the one that's actually trying to do something about it? I'm not understanding why people are trying to protect these illegal things unless they're getting paid to do these things. So now it makes me wonder how many dollars are going out for this democratic agenda that is being brought forth for we, the American people, to have people into an upheaval of, when in all reality, these changes are needed so that we actually have a future to look forward to. So anyways, that's just in the energy hardcore today. I mean, let's just be straight. There's been a lot of underhanded, illegal prospections that have been taking place for a very long time. We finally have a president that comes into office and he's actually doing what he said he would do. Kudos to you, President Trump. So why are we upset with him? For keeping the truth? For doing what he said he would do? Out of all the things that we could be upset on, what about all this funding for healthy eating, yet our children are getting less than a handful of goldfish and a peanut butter and jelly because they can't stand the menu? What about all this funding on, we're going to make sure that the children are getting this and getting that, and the teachers are just like about to spaz out because they're not getting any time? There's a lot of things that have been going on for a very long time that are being addressed. I think that we should be willing to go into a change. He's not asking to be a world domination over us, but these people that are throwing fits, these people that are backing this No More Kings movement, are teachers. Okay, so we need to be aware that a lot of these illegal behaviors that have been taking place are exposing, and you shouldn't have to be in a job and have to come under what that, oh, you will vote this or you won't be a teacher. No, that's crazy. What happened to, like, can we focus more on our children and can we put our work in and just go home? Whatever happened to the excitement and joy of just being able to be a citizen and not having all this illegal criticism going on all over the world? I mean, this person is not coming into our semantics and saying, you have to believe this or believe that. He's saying, I want everyone to be free to believe whatever they want, and I don't want someone else's rights to wrong one another. Why are we not sponsoring this? I don't know about you, but I'm tired of my money going towards abortion. I don't believe in abortion. So I shouldn't have to fund it. And if I have my child in a private school, I shouldn't have to pay for a public school. I'm already paying $14,000 a year for a private school when I have my child in a private school. Why should I be funding a public school when they don't want for my child to be taught the way I want them taught? I just feel like if these things are being cut and dry and directed to where everyone's getting their freedoms, we shouldn't be so in an upheaval. So they were doing this protest, and this guy's wearing this unicorn suit. He's a young guy, probably early 30s, 40s. And I said, hey, I love President Trump. I'm very grateful for all that he's done. However, I really like that suit, man. And do you know, he just looked at me and he cracked a smile and he said, thanks. It doesn't have to be so derogatory to express ourselves. If people love President Trump and appreciate his transparency, they appreciate his momentum, they appreciate the willingness for him to be able to take the reins and get things back in order. He sponsored the first term himself. He didn't even take a paycheck for the first 3 years. Why are we crying and griping about a person that's already invested 3 years with no pay to get us out of the red and has achieved just that? I just feel like we should get out of our feelings today and be grateful that we do have a man that's in office that's willing to lead, and not according to his emotions. He's being led on facts. Not just facts he can see. So I really feel as if you already have a person that's filed for bankruptcy but dug themselves out and has seen the red lines and invested 3 years into positive terms and has the complete heart of our elder community, the children, as well as our social servants, those that serve the country, but he's wanting law and order. He's tired of all of the lying and the stealing and the cheating and the backbiting and people using their positions to control and dictate other people's lives. And I agree with that. I'm tired of it too, and it's got to change. The man is doing his job. And instead of us, even if we didn't agree with everything he said and did, even if you only voted for President Trump because you were voting against Hillary, the man has kept his words. Give him a chance. We don't have to all agree to functionally coincide. We tried it the Democratic way, and we ended up in a red line. We were drained. Our gas was almost $6 a gallon, if not more. Do we not remember this? I'm sensing like back in Egypt when people were walked out of that and they were walking towards the promised land and they were griping because they wanted leeks, they wanted onions. Oh, they wanted to go back. Do you remember the slavery? Do you remember when you couldn't even talk about God or you were shot in the head? Do you remember that, that time when officers were in your home and this person says, I rebuke you in Jesus' name, laughing, and they pulled out a gun revolver and shot her in her head, killed her? Do we remember? Because I remember whenever Muslims couldn't even walk down the street because people were so scared and prejudiced because of 9/11, and everybody was all like, they did it and they did it. And President Trump got up and said, no, it is we the people, and everyone is of the people, and who is not against us is not dividing us. They are for us if they are not against us. So it is a melting pot, and everyone's tea's poured in. Everyone has the right to choose life or to choose death. However, you don't have the right to choose someone else's life or death. When these expressions are going across and people are doing their expressions in peace, let them be. You don't have the right to tell someone they can or cannot be a believer. You do not have the right to tell someone they can or cannot eat. You don't have the right to tell someone they have to raise their child this way. When your right's wrong mind, it's not correct. So, I feel like this is the energy today, and if any hostility is going on, it's because individuals have forgotten what it was like before President Trump took the office. You know, when we had no say, when we had people going over and they were in the Army and they were in the Navy and they were leaving we're going to war. Remember we were at war? And do you remember when all of a sudden the sergeant said, all right, let's go. And they left billions of dollars worth of tools for the evil that we were having to fight against? Do we remember that? Because I remember that. They literally said they were going to war with these people, that they were so evil. They said that. And then they packed up all of this money in ammunition and tools and left it out there for those that they said they were so dangerous. Biden just pulled them out and left all the gear. Do we remember that? I remember that. At least we know where our money's going and why it's going there, and what's not meant to be going out has been canceled. And maybe that, 12:12 on the clock, maybe that's the problem, is that individuals aren't getting the manipulative handouts in which they were surplusing off of the backs of the American people. And maybe that's the problem right now, is that they don't get their hands filled by manipulation and lies. And maybe this is why people are becoming so hostile, because they're not capable of throwing their fits and getting their way, because we have a president that says, unless you have facts and numbers, hush. Because he took on the office when it was in the red, and we, the American people, were barely eating because we couldn't afford to and pay our bills. Remember? Okay? So we'll cut that energy. I'm just saying, let's not forget what has been accomplished since he's taken back the office. We have been given freedoms and rights that are amazing. And maybe that's the problem right now, is because there's a lot of talk about freedom, but the ones that are wanting to overrule us are the ones proclaiming that we have no rights, yet they're the ones that want to hold the rights and delegate them where they see fit. President Trump is saying, I want rights for all mankind, not just ones that, can be bought. You know? So, there's been an ending, and people feel it. People are starting to rise up and speak the truth. And see, with Charlie Kirk, they wanted to scare people into silence. That was a conspiracy that took place that was meant for people to be scared to speak up against the facts, because they didn't want people to speak up the truth. And they could no longer silence them with money. They are now carrying burdens because balance is coming in very quickly. When good men do nothing, evil triumphs. And when they wanted us silenced, it was so that we would not be speaking the truth. For as long as the truth was not spoken, their lies were livid. They were heeding every moment. They were alive and well. And as long as there's no truth saying, that's not accurate, they can continue. But when you speak facts and truth and numbers, do you remember when this was? Do you recall this and this? Do you remember this and this? I remember this and this. Oh. Okay. Yeah. They wanted for the stars to be the evil ones of society. And when I say evil, I mean those that don't have a problem with selling kids, don't have a problem with having sex with 11-year-old, 10-year-old boys and girls. They don't care as long as nobody knows and as long as their shirt's tidy and they have a smile on their face and a pretty wife, everything's okay. As long as they have money, they're good, right? All of their destruction has gone back. All the 9 of Swords, all of this, I'll look a certain way, but I'll do what I want. And as long as I have my finances in order, big boy up at the top is sponsoring me so I can get by with anything. All that mentality is gone back and it's squashing the lies. The real kings have taken their place. These officials that fell, that refused to do their jobs appropriately, that turned the blind eyes while people were being tortured and tormented daily because society had gone against actually following the protocols. All of that is now sitting at their doorstep and they're aware. So they're doing anything to try to get back anything that's going to fund them for them to be able to have financial security to continue in the rigmarole and silence the American people. And this is not working. They're in grief and sorrow. They're being exposed as frauds. This Jezebelian energy in which was making it a business by misusing youth in order to be able to have a continuance of their lifespan and journey is being brought forth into a justice because of everything these individuals collected off of our children. These individuals were draining FEMA. The funding was empty before we even got to use it. Every continuance of the indigenous people, their funds, their lands, it was all stolen. And to send into court these Jezebels that batted their eyelashes and said, oh, yeah, it's really a sad state. Here's the proof. Don't look too close. Here's $25,000. And there's 250 more once it's cleared. While they were secretly pocket lesbians that didn't have any attraction to those people. Which, somebody else's sex, that's not my problem. I'm stating the facts. Because nobody wanted to touch it because of their sex. If I can get by with crap because I do wrong and say, I'm a lesbian and they hate me, I'm going to file charges. Well, I could turn and do the same thing. They're just trying to do this because of my sexual preference. Ooh. It's no different than I'm African American. It's no different than I'm Spanish and they hate me. Well, I can say I'm indigenous and they're trying to hurt me because I belong to Israel and God. Nobody wants to touch it. What about we the people? We the people. So-and-so wants to be evil all their life. Okay, when your wrongs take away my rights, you're not correct. And when my rights invade your wrongs, I'm not correct. But by George, you're going to have to come to an understanding that you don't rule when the people are still having to pay to live here. And you can't just kill everyone that you don't agree with. So when you've got policies on all your colleagues and your insurance policies are keeping you rich because anytime somebody makes you mad, they die from a heart attack in their sleep because of electro... Oh, bless their soul. I'll bring a plant and some chicken, and I'm going to go cash in that $355,000 policy. Come on, man. Accountability is being served by a man who is not an alpha. He knows exactly what he's doing because he's seeking higher judgment. And even if the man was wrong, there's an honor and a respect behind a man's name. And if a man is in office and he's representing something and it's not going against what we believe, what are we believing? Why is it okay for us to dishonor a presidential seat? What is even going on right now? Since when do we have the rights to usurp authority? Even when they're wrong. I have right now so many corrupt officials in my atmosphere regarding this hometown, which is not even my home. I pray for them. I literally turn them over to God and I pray for them. Do you know why? I could be completely awful to them, but I'm responsible for me. Their actions I don't agree with. They're evil. But there are still some that are not. And there are still some that hold their titles with sacred effort. You can't help but honor a man in a uniform or a woman in a uniform. Now, there are some that are they're washed out. They're gone. I mean, but that's not my place. My place is to recognize their evil and pray that God will illuminate the situation and bring forth truth. And that God will make right the wrongs that they've already been able to get by with. How many people have been falsely accused and falsely set up and arrested and thrown away the key, all because of money? How many people have they convinced the world, oh, they're crazy, all because of money and land? Misusing their authorities. Do I agree with them? No. But until I have the rights to right them on these wrongs, I am not capable of changing them. As long as we allow for this, we're on a movement, everybody be negative, we don't like Trump, bash! He's taking the right stand by trying to gather us all together, by fixing it behind the scenes, and then bringing us into the conclusion of what he has brought forth, because it's already been so far gone, and it wasn't him that broke it. It was messed up before he took office. Remember? We were in the red. We were sponsoring all these other countries that were acting as terrorists to ours. We were forcing our children to succumb to a mindset in which we didn't even want for ourselves. So, while we have complaints, pray, God, your will be done. And if you don't believe in prayer, then this probably is not the channel for you to be on, because I'm going to tell it like it is, because I have that freedom. Because my people dump my tea into this ocean, and whether or not I am from this place, I have the right to share my truth. And the truth is that these politicians and these political issues are getting ready to be all exposed. So coming into a bandwagon to be paid to protest is not an actual conviction. It's a paid job. Any person protesting would have been livid by my comment of I love President Trump. It's all for show. And the fact is that our people have many different beliefs. They have many different religions, but they respect and love people. When you think that your way is the only way and you think that other people deserve to die because they don't agree with you, you are in the wrong country. We, the people, has rules and ordinances. We are all to be given freedom of speech and to live. That doesn't mean that I am all right, because there may be times where I'm not all right, and that's okay. We have discernment as we the people to know the truth, for the truth sets us free. But whenever you want to kick every part of what has founded from our forefathers out of the delegation or any part of our courts because it's offensive, I find that offensive. You cannot have truth where there isn't an expectation of truth. You cannot say our forefathers did it this way, but, well, we're just going to fudge in this. No! The days of hunting the Indians and stealing their land and stealing their money and stealing their wives and children are over. And if they're not, then we're in the wrong country. You're either for life or you're not. So that's for something. Let's get into it. Collective energy, please. Yeah, there is no more. You're going to keep people and cause prisons for their hearts, minds, souls, and bodies, and cause drama in their lives and use them as money banks by pretending they're crazy, pretending they're special needs, keeping people in this dark energy of stress all their lives and making it look like you did them a good deed. It's over. And now this authority and this dark energy that they sent out with ruin and destruction and the 9 of Swords, this is all mental. Now they're dealing with, how am I going to explain I stole all this from these people? How am I going to explain that I've been using their land for sex trafficking children? How am I going to explain that I kidnapped these kids and killed most of them, and this one I can't kill? And this is going on right in the midst of all these other changes. And, well, the Super Bowl has been a very big money for trafficking. It was stopped this year. So the pause cost them a lot of money. And these are different origins from top to bottom. You have a pyramid scheme going on here. And these are white-collar elites that are right in the middle of all it, trying to get it all back together again. And they can't because they're not meant to. I don't need proof. Read the headlines. It's fixing to start making itself more and more and more known. What was that? FBI agents, like 150 of them that were caught in sex trafficking groups and brothels that they busted and took to prison, took to jail. How many of them in Los Angeles were officers of the law that didn't even have the credentials to be active duty? They had flunked every one of their tests, yet somehow they ended up police officers. This is all coming out for a reason. We have to wake up, people. Just because someone's out there throwing fits and chaos everywhere, let them. Don't join them. We're okay to share on social media how we feel. But I love a Muslim brother or a Muslim sister. I love an African American brother or an African American sister. I love a Chinese brother or a Chinese sister. I'll throw my arms around all of them. I love them all. And I'm not going to get mad at somebody just because, well, they're a certain color or they got more money or they're just trying to. No, all these people stirring this crap, they're getting paid to do it. It's all a facade and an emotional trick pie. Let them do it, but don't get involved in it. Stay clear of it. We're worth more. All right. Anything else with this energy? Collective energy, please. Yeah, see, that's the key. United we stand, divided we fall. These individuals are wanting for all of the gifts that have come together in our United States. And I mean United States, because there's a lot of states coming together. It's not just America that are going through these changes. These are our nations. And we have to know how to see people's gifts and utilize them together on a journey in life. But if our unity has become, well, they like polka dots and I like stripes, they can't be in our club, then we've missed the entire purpose of us coming together with peace. Peace, peace, yet there is no peace. Why? Because we're not letting people freely be who they are. You know, when you're right's wrong mine, it's not a right, it's wrong. So that means if somebody else has done things, as long as they're not hurting someone else, leave them alone. When they start hurting other people, that's different. Okay? And so we've always used our gifts together as a nation. We have our teachers. Oh, God bless them. We have our Congress. Oh, thank God for them. We have our attorneys. Oh, God bless the good ones. They're rare. And we journeyed through life together. But this has ended because we have too many chiefs and not enough Indians. They wanted to stop a divine intervention, but that divine intervention went back in their life. They wanted to cause chaos. We have real leaders taking a stand and saying, listen, God done what he's going to do. Now, you have to get the hate out of your head and out of your heart that says that a certain color or a certain tax bracket or a certain person, it's not your business, leave it alone. If you have to go and make your money by doing fake protest or fake drama, that's not a job. You're hurting people. There is a gifting of the prophecy that has been unleashed upon our nations. I am telling you right now, this is a time for us to take our gifts and use them for good. This is a time right now for us to take our gifts and put them forward on a journey that's going to bring forth life, not death. When we have a president that has taken a term and he has sacrificially gone into places in order to be able to prove where we, the American people and the nations, have been mistrusted, where we have had all these individuals misusing our government, harming people in elder care, taking stands against trafficking, making a difference for our children. Our children are our future. And we have a problem with leadership. when we're being given the rights we should have always had? We the people. These individuals are throwing fits because judgment has fallen. What is judgment? The truth has come forth. They didn't want the truth. The truth sets us free. So when we have the truth, it's like, wait a minute. Why were they doing that? Wait a minute. Why was that put there? Wait a minute. How come that person got to go through and be able to do this and these people weren't subjected towards the same? Why were they different? We fund them too. How come the FBI didn't have any type of going through all of their files? We're paying them. How come the CIA is getting all this funding? Wait a minute. Why has that been used as weapons against us, the people? Why are we funding you finding devices to be able to kill us? Why are we funding you having drugs that you're creating? Then you turn off and leak them out of the country, and then they come back in, and now you got the FBI going out there trying to bust down all these. You're creating the problem. Why are these people getting Oh, they got AIDS. The CIA created AIDS. Why? Because we funded it. So why didn't we get to see what we were funding? They're being blocked from using these funds in an inappropriate way that's harming we the people. So they want to cause distractions. Look over here, not over here. That's all that's happening. Stay out of it. Let our president do his job. We don't know what's happening. All of this karmic hate crimes. Oh, we're going to be nice to them. We're going to give them grants and funds and they're going to. Have we been bought? No, we haven't. But that was the intention, to get votes. And how many got on the bandwagon with it? Now we got a president that's saying we're in this together. Our gas is economical. In the middle of a crisis, we're starting to use our own. How many oil lines were stolen from the indigenous people? How many farmlands were stolen from the indigenous people? Yet they can't even trail their horses. It's only a matter of time. It's always going to be someone besides the white man if we continue. We have to come together. It can't just be the white man. It has to be we the people. Every time you start this, oh, well, it's so-and-so, they're the issues. No, they're not. Before it was them, it was someone else. And before it was them, it was someone else. It's anybody but the one doing the problem. Look over here, not over here. Why are you so protective over money that doesn't even have anything to do with you? Our president is not stupid. He knows what he's doing, and he's been on both sides of the fence, so he's dark and light. He understands when there's shenanigans going on, and he's getting that nose going off. We should pay attention. People are rejecting the president because the president is bringing forth change. He is positioning women in Congress, and that is a lot of hate that individuals don't agree with. He is no longer letting people go rogue and take the reins. He wants documentation. Why did you do this? all of this lying and all of these people that were misplaced from birth, all the documentation that's been hidden, it's coming back around. And this is all being seen. We have people that have been stolen that have never known who they are, that have been rejected their whole lives. These laws with these sexual crimes being no longer on delay, but being filed and being heard, it's bringing people's voices out. They're starting to speak about the industries and everything that's taken place. President Trump has actually issued a person that's been caught, a male or a female that's been caught in sex trafficking, they're taken care of because of the emotional and mental abuse throughout their lives. He's making a difference in which these abrasive, how do I say it? The predators that wear suits, they don't like it because it's affecting their money train. We should set this one out, folks. When you vote, vote according to what you would find suitable for your children. I'm going to end this reading here, and I pray in Jesus' name that this will end some of the hostility, and we will recognize that these times have to come about. This is bringing forth the truth, and the truth sets us free. And we may not like everything, but we've all known that something's not right. It should not have ever been in a place to where there was so much vile human. Do you understand how many people that have sat back with criminal records of rape after rape after rape after rape and child kidnapping, molestation, brutal, and they weren't even served time? Why? How many communities had incest with their children over and over and over again, and people were talked and told, I need help, and they were never granted any help from the teachers, from the officials. Nobody helped them. Why? Because we had people sitting in seats that misused their authority. And this is what this man in office, this honorable person who has been poor, who has had to start over, who has had to invest and build his way back up, who has had to micromanage and to invest to be able to get to where he is, who has gone to insights to say, what's the vision for today? Sometimes the most wise thing we can do is assume that we know nothing and be willing to learn. And until we have carried the burdens of a king, we should really just honor the seat. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Like I said, if you see any negativism and you see aggression, diffuse it. People are doing the best they can, man. I don't care if you're in gas line or trying to get food. Ah! Hey, man, they're trying. Blessed are the peacemakers. This negative is stealing our lifeline, our energy. And right now, this negative energy is starving to death. Let it die. We as the people, no matter what color, no matter what creed, we need each other. There is no color coding. We are spirits in a vesseled pot, created by the same Father. Not one of us better than any other. We all have a purpose for being here. And my purpose is to tell you today that we're all valuable. We're all special. We're all needed. And sometimes even the best ones make very poor choices, not thinking of the results that when you make a choice today, it affects tomorrow.